Welcome to Butter Legs. We don't always get things right, but we're real good triers.
We watch movies and make music inspired by the experience. Fair warning, there are spoilers.
We oftentimes talk about mature subjects, and we say dirty words while we're at it.
Here we go! Welcome, Butter Leggings. I'm Jay.
I'm Sin.
And I'm Alex.
We're the Butter Hosts.
Remember that time we were on hiatus and me and you, JJ, we came back and we both grew long beards unbeknownst to each other. But our drummer, Sin, did not have a beard. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, Alex.
Are you Linda Hamilton?
Double back again.
So we're recording really early this morning because Alex has got to go show how the wilderness works to people. Yeah. So what does your day look like? Like, I never know. Like, I picture you like there's like a center that you meet a group of people, and then I don't know, you get on a boat and you point out fish and shit.
I do computery stuff and
so very different than what I just explained.
Yeah, I do computery stuff, then I'm like, okay, I gotta go pace around a little bit, then I take care of reptiles a little bit, and then it's like, okay, then I do like a little program or something. A lot of times people don't show up, but sometimes they do. And that's like the land programs, like, oh, hey, look at birds and crap. Then later, I've been doing my boat tours in the evening time, and they last about an hour and 15 minutes.
So, did you know how to, is it drive a boat? I don't know what the word is, but did you know how to do that before this job? You don't strike me as a water person.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with boats.
Well, hopefully you're more than okay. You've got other people in there with you.
I mean, I manage. I miss most of the trees. I've only lost one passenger.
Let's not name where Alex works. How about you, Jay? How are you this morning? This is early for you.
It's really early for me.
Are both of your eyes working?
No. Butter Leggings, I'm kind of famous for being a late sleeper, very heavy sleeper, and if I wake up early in the morning, one of my eyes doesn't work for a while.
It's all closed and weird. It doesn't focus.
He's world famous for that, Ohio.
Oh, speaking of states, man, Virginia pulling the big numbers. We're getting bigger numbers.
12.
We're getting bigger numbers out of Virginia than we are in California.
Wow.
Hey, look at you, Vermont.
That's awesome.
I'm just kidding. Thanks, Virginia.
Yeah, for sure. I've been through Virginia once. It was beautiful.
Butter Leggings, as you know, we are very skilled ventriloquists here at Butter Legs Inc. We're also very skilled at impressions. We've got a special treat for you now.
Oh, no.
We're going to do...
Both?
We do?
Yep. We're going to do both at the same time. In the spirit of Terminator season.
Yes.
Come on down to Randall's Used Cars. It's Terminator season. We're going to be doing ventriloquism and Arnold impressions at the same time.
Whoa.
Okay. Now, as you know, whenever we've done these sort of things in the past, the ventriloquism acts, whenever you're listening on the podcast, it's hard to tell when the ventriloquism starts, right?
Is it?
It just sounds like we're just continuing to talk.
Right, because we're so good at it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and they're not watching us.
All right, here we go.
Come with me if you want to live.
Liam, that was your Liam. Come with me if you want to live.
Alex?
Give me your clothes. Give me your clothing.
Oh.
Make yourself naked. Hasta la vida. Hasta la vista. Bye bye.
Oh, the duck. Oh, the duck.
What?
Oh, the duck.
Aldi dick.
I need to cuss. Yeah, Yates. Yeah, no, go. Y'all want to hear it next door?
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to Nextdoor. This is the part of the podcast where I read posts from Nextdoor, the app. All right, so Alex, do you know about the food delivery services like Blue Apron and
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah.
okay, I just want that has to be a context for this conversation. Yvonne says, while looking at HelloFresh to see if I wanted to order, they automatically submitted an order for me. This is so wrong. I hope at least one of you joins in protesting to show them they need to do a lot better. Additionally, they have refunded me 50%, but this is not good enough. Okay, so there's a lot here. First of all, there's no fucking way that she was on the website and they're like, order placed. Like, she filled that shit out.
That's the same thing that we see whenever we're looking for reviews of movies, and there's so many on Amazon that are like, I didn't order this, and it's in my life. Yeah, you accidentally clicked on the button or something, or your kid got it or something.
HelloFresh is not the CIA. They don't know everyone's information, and they're just like willy-nilly sending people shit. Here's the best part, though. I mean, her thing was fine, but this is the best part. Joel responds and says, man, I'm going to have a hard time getting through this. Hold on. They say when you suck. They say when you sign. I'm not going to be able to get through it. They say when you sign up to 3 days before your ear. They say when you sign up to 3 days before your ear is to be delivered, you can change it or cancel it. I have changed it many times. They email, it is tea late. Made check email. They read for older people like my mom who can't cook. Hope this information helps. My ear dear. It's just like, your mom can't cook. You're the Swedish fucking chef. Are you kidding me? My ear dear. All right, let's talk about Terminator.
Oh, don't even think about taking your children to the movies anymore. It's safe to say you see a Terminator butt crack as soon as you've entered the door. So hire up a nanny so your kids don't see a fanny at the Terminator Picture Show. I ain't saying it ain't entertaining, but shield them from the butts.
Butter Lakings, today we're talking about Terminators 4, 5, and 6, which is Terminator Salvation from 2009, Terminator Genisys from 2015, and Terminator Dark Fate from 2019.
They were real good and real bad.
Well, let's start with Terminator Salvation.
All right.
Oh man, I love that one. Why do people not like that one? It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real good.
I love it. It's so good. Christian Bale is, definitely the toughest John Connor.
Oh yeah,
out
he's
there.
awesome.
Did you know he played Batman? That would be a good franchise to do.
Batman Terminator?
Oh, you
Oh, the Batman movies.
for Butterlake.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant like Alien versus Predator. I was like Batman and Terminator.
I liked how diverse they were with the robots on that movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They really explored that well. And that giant one. Ooh,
That's awesome.
I
That
got motorcycles in my knees.
That's awesome. Also, this concept of like gathering up humans like cattle. Ugh. I've had nightmares about stuff like that. It's like really scary.
Why did they do that?
Why were they rounding up humans?
Yeah.
You know what's weird is I had the same question because it's not like they were okay in my nightmares. They're rounding up humans sort of like on War of the Worlds where they're like putting them in like basically a meat grinder. But like with the Terminator, to my knowledge, they weren't doing. They were still just killing people, right?
I think they were killing them, and they were also doing some kind of like studies on them to make their war effort better because they were making better and better infiltration units.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I have my theories of why people don't like Terminator Salvation.
I want to hear it.
So, with the Terminator, despite the confusing like time travel stuff, for the most part, it's a pretty straight up and down, like good versus evil. Arnold is a bad robot, and then you have these good people, Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese, fighting against it. It's if you don't try to figure out the time travel stuff, it's pretty easy to understand, and so if you're like trying to go into it like just like, oh, I just want to see somebody box with a robot man, then Terminator Salvation is much more, it's a much different movie, because in this one, our main Terminator character thinks he really is a human. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And then, it turns out that his programming is evil.
Yeah, it's definitely a more complex story.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you've got John Connor. He's having to fight with humans on himself because, the generals above him are like, John, quit doing all your stupid shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a much more complex movie. So I think if you're going for that simple, like, I want to see, that Arnold robot hit somebody in the face, that's not what you're going to get with Salvation.
Yeah. And you don't get the Arnold, lighthearted Arnoldness in that one.
Right.
No.
They have an Arnold robot at the end, but it's only on there for like 5 seconds and his flesh gets melted off. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you barely get that.
I don't know. I really like it, but it is a departure. I mean, I can see how people think it's almost like a standalone. Like if they had redone them all in that style, it'd be different. But
So on Terminator Salvation, though, those are actually the reasons why I love that movie so much, is because it does explore those like weird gray areas and the mixed things. It's not so black and white, good and evil.
Yeah.
Sort of stuff. But also, like, the acting is good. Man, the effects are really good.
The effects are real good.
Oh, man.
Effects are real good.
It's got music by Danny Elfman. It's really, really good music.
I thought you got choked up there for a second. Like,
My boy Danny.
I know. I was like, you're like, got music by Danny Elfman.
Oingo boingo.
I'm so proud about Oingo Boingo Boy. He did so good, getting so big.
Okay, so what's the next one called?
It's called mashed potato face John Connor.
Okay. Now I remember what I was going to talk about this morning. Okay, so here we go. What's the name of this one, Jay?
Terminator Genisys.
Jesus Christ.
Mashed
this
potato
movie.
edition.
First of all, I do not the entire time we watched it, I'm like, I understand. Like the timeline and what they're talking about, and everyone's different. It's just so confusing to me. But other than that, that fucking actor, what's his name?
I don't even know. Let's look it up real quick because we're going to be talking about him.
John Connor?
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie has Jason Clarke as John Connor and Emilia
Clarke.
Clarke. Wait a minute.
No.
Is that
no?
No. That's just coincidence.
I think
okay.
that's coincidence.
And my daughter.
And I don't know how to pronounce his name. Jai Courtney, but it's Jai. Could be Jai. As Kyle Reese.
So we just got finished watching The Batman, the new one that stars Robert Pattinson. And I was commenting on the fact that that the Penguin, you know, at least what I remember about the Batman movies and the Penguin, the only one I could remember was Danny DeVito. And I don't know, it's kind of troublesome. It's like, I don't know why I took that role. Like, hey, you kind of look like a penguin. Why don't you play the penguin? You know, it's like kind of shitty, but his face doesn't. Like, I would say his face doesn't. And then this one is Colin, what's his name?
Farrell.
Colin Farrell plays the penguin in this one, and they totally exaggerated the makeup. You know, they give him that beak-like nose and whatever. But this guy, Jason Clarke, they could just put him in a Batman movie as the penguin. He looks like it. He already looks like that. Don't you think?
He does look like a bird.
He does. And it just, I don't know. It's just his features. I mean, you know, like, I'm not trying I'm just talking about like casting, right? I'm not saying like he is ugly. I'm just saying his features are distracting in movies because it's like everything points to the center of his face. His eyes point. It's like a triangle right there, and it's so distracting. He's been in other movies that I really like, and all I can think about is his very sharp features. And it's the same thing in this movie. Like, I couldn't get into the story or whatever because I'm just looking at his triangle face. And like the guy who plays Kyle Reese, for some reason, I'm just like, I just do not care about this character whatsoever.
He's just so like bland. Like,
he's like some guy I went to high school with. I'm like, why are you an actor?
Yeah, he's just a bro.
I think I want to go into marketing or something.
Yeah. And it very much does not fit in with what we have seen as Kyle Reese in every other movie.
I think that you don't believe that they fall in love. That's another thing. Like, I know they're trying to like fight it, so to speak, the whole time. But then at the end, you're like, she wouldn't like him.
It's more weird than anything.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, please don't have a baby.
Please don't have Jason Clarke.
Please don't have Jason Clarke.
But yeah, you're right. Also, you know, it's kind of ironic that I say this considering what I just said about Salvation. But Genisys is overly complicated, but not.
It's not character exploration though, or human experience. It's just like logistically confusing.
Yeah, and quite unnecessarily so, you know, because in this story we've got, okay, they sent back 2 Terminators to 1973. They barely even show us half of that. There's just like barely a little bit in a flashback. We see the back of Arnold.
Like in the middle of the movie, too. It doesn't even help explain it at the beginning.
Even when the first Terminator goes back, this is the issue with any of the movies, I guess. But even when the first Terminator goes back, they don't know what's going to happen. Like, are we Thanos to now, or? Like, or does this affect us even? Isn't this their problem now?
That's a good point.
But yeah, it creates this other timeline where Kyle Reese does not grow up after Judgment Day. He grows up in normal land, but he remembers both times, and it's like, that wasn't necessary either.
I know. That's what confused me. I was like, why is this important? I don't know. I was just, the whole time, I was so annoying to Jane. I was like, I don't understand. Like, it was so confusing.
I think one thing that is kind of cool is like changing the events, and John Connor does end up being the villain. Like that part in itself is kind of cool. Like, ooh, what if in this one John Connor is not the hero, he's the villain?
Yeah, they could have done it better.
Yeah, they didn't have to have such a complicated story to get there. And, I don't know about this like nanotechnology thing that John Connor is. Like, they could have just had John Connor be evil just because of his motivations.
That's right.
Just a better character development would have fixed that.
Nanotechnology explains everything.
But they don't even explain that, because Skynet infects him and he becomes stronger and stuff, and I guess we can assume that it changes his brain, but they don't really tell his motivations. He's just like, I want Skynet to survive, and also I can
be a penguin.
I can be a penguin, and I can fight the Batman real good now.
Okay, let's move on. I'm over it.
Okay. All right.
Dark Fate.
So finally,
Dark Fate.
Dark Fate.
So
Dark
good.
Meat.
So good.
Starring Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Terminator Dark Fate. This is another one that I know there's a lot of people out there who didn't like Dark Fate, but a lot of people did.
Here's my overall thoughts about this movie.
Hot take.
The reason why I really like it.
Hot takes.
This is my hot take, y'all. My hot take is this. I like that she doesn't have to have a baby to like fulfill some sort of destiny. It can be hers and hers alone. Like, I don't know. That trope just drives me crazy, that women are they birth these male important figures. That's in a lot of movies and a lot of storytelling. And they were just like, no, you can do it on your own. It's fine.
And the future's now.
That's right. The future's now. It's real good though.
Yeah, real good. Now this is an example where they did a good job of like superhuman, but it's for a reason. Mackenzie Davis plays Grace, who is like an augmented
Under
human
fire.
from the future. Yeah, and it's really cool, and it makes sense.
What'd you say, Alex?
She's under fire, like Grace under fire. That was a sitcom.
Yes, it was. Short-lived sitcom.
Go ahead about the Mackenzie Davis.
Oh yeah, but I really like her acting too.
Me too. She's real tall.
Yeah,
Tough as nails.
She's tall. Yeah, and then of course we have the return of OG Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that's maybe why people may like this one a little bit more than Salvation, is you have Arnold, and he's funny.
I'm extremely funny.
You have Linda Hamilton, and she's once again a badass. I mean, she has a lot of kind of corny one-liners, but they're almost forgivable because, like, you just like this movie so much, I think.
Yeah, this movie is probably the funniest of all of the Terminator movies, but in a really good way. There's a lot of clever humor in there, and boy, I love the character of this T-800. He's like, okay, so my mission is fulfilled, so I need to create motivation for myself, and essentially becomes more human. He has a family. He starts a business doing drapes called Carl's Draperies.
He's like Pinocchio.
Because he's a real boy.
Because he's a real boy now.
Also in this movie, the Rev 9 is scary.
Yeah. Yes.
I like Arnold's one-liners in it. Like they just like catch him mid story, and he's He's like, the guy said he was going to do his daughter's room one color, and I said, don't do that.
That is so good.
So funny. He wants to talk about drapes.
So good. Well, I like the Terminator movies. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Good thing. And I guess that they're done. Like, we won't see any more Terminator movies, probably, unless they just redo the whole series or something.
They gotta reboot it.
Yeah.
What's everybody's favorite Terminator movie?
Judgment Day.
Yeah, Judgment Day.
It's kind of a tough call for me. I think it would maybe change depending on which day you ask me, but I kind of feel like Dark Fate's my favorite.
Yeah, it is really good. I think it's one of those things sort of like music. You can't ask people what their favorite song is. That's a ridiculous request. You know what I mean? Like, I would say I could pick three, like I like Judgment Day, Dark Fate, and Salvation for very different reasons.
Yeah.
You're talking about Danny Elfman, and it made me think. What would your concept of music? Never mind. Someone do a segue.
Oh, you know what? Funny thing, I made music about it.
Oh, you did you?
Yeah.
I made a song too.
That's so weird because I also made a song.
We make music about movies.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And we had assignments this time.
That's right.
My assignment was to make pop country. Alex was contemporary Christian, and Sin was bluegrass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, so who wants to share and tell first?
Who's going to share and tell first?
Okay.
So I got assigned bluegrass, and I was real excited about this one. And then it turned out that it was a little bit difficult because I'm having trouble with my ear. Like, my left ear is, I think I need to go to a doctor and have it like irrigated or something. Because it's like, it feels like I have a earplug in there right now. Anyway, that's disgusting, but it's true. So I would say I'm a pretty good singer, but with bluegrass, there's a lot of harmonies. And I was having a tough time hearing the harmonies on this one, but I finally got it down. Anyway, you'll see, we can talk about it afterwards, but I kind of, there's a concept behind this song. So this is my bluegrass Terminator song called If I Only Had a Heart.
When a man's an empty kettle, he should be on his mettle. Yet I'm torn apart just because I'm presuming that I could be kind of human. If I only had a heart. I'd be tender, I'd be gentle, and awful sentimental. Regarding love and arms, I'd be friends with the sparrow and the boy that shoots the arrow. If I only had a heart. When a man's an empty kettle, he should be on his mettle. Yet I'm torn apart just because I'm presuming that I could be kind of human. That I could be kind of human if I only had a heart.
Very
Good
cool.
job. That was a cool kind of genre mash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, when I made that comment about Pinocchio, but it's also like the Tin Man, it's like, oh yeah, like these like at least, especially in Dark Fate, like he wants to be human, and he's like doing all the things, and he's like kind of in this pretend world, but in essence he's not. He doesn't have the organs, he doesn't have the spirit. So but anyway, I just was like, I don't have to write any lyrics, I could just use Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, it's very clever that you use that song. It fits so well, not just because of the content matching with the movie that we're talking about, but also it translates oddly well to bluegrass. And like Alex said, I was just thinking about Jerem. I should probably say it again.
Add it to the pile.
Oh my god.
We always get like one of those.
Like Alex said, though, this is it's an interesting genre mashup because traditional bluegrass, there's kind of these rules to bluegrass. Like you're supposed to only use acoustic instruments, and like if there's a microphone, like preferably you play it live in front of an audience, and there's nothing to amplify anything. Like it's a small gathering sort of music thing. But if you do need to amplify it, the rule is like you have one microphone that all of the performers share, and they'll stand in like a half circle around it and move closer or farther away from it. It's a really cool thing to see live if you've never seen it. But of course, you've got like this dance stuff, and I think that's also really cool. I would love to hear more pop music incorporate more bluegrass and stuff like that into it.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're paving the way for the future.
Totally. That is my lot in life. Who's next?
Is it my turn?
It's Alex's turn.
Mine was in the style of contemporary Christian. I listened to one Hillsong song. I was like, okay, big, super polished, clear message. I was like, got it, and then I made my song, and it's basically Reese's kind of letter to the prophet John Connor, and just like a letter of extreme adoration, sort of thing, and it's like right before he goes back in time.
What's the name of it?
JC. Hit it, boys.
Expose these Reese's Pieces way back in '84, so we don't have to worry about the future anymore. It was an honor, John Connor. I'd kneel down at your side at any point in time. John Connor. that someone will feel my blast. And John Connor, you will also be my son. It was an honor, John Connor. I kneel down at your side at any point in time. It was an honor, John Connor. I kneel down at your side at any point in time. John Connor, John Connor, John Connor, John Connor, John Connor, John Connor, John Connor. I wanna have a baby with your mom, John Connor, John Connor, John Connor, John Connor, John Connor.
Oh my god.
That's great. Like,
Oh my gosh, Alex, that's like one of your best songs ever. It's
Thank you.
so
I
good.
legit, like, I really like that song. That's really good.
I do too.
Thank you.
Those vocal layers are really good.
Oh my god, you did
It-
way better on your harmonies than I did.
It took me like hour to do that.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Fun fact. The same guitars from the Twilight episode played guitar in that song.
I think what's so interesting about that song is the whole time you're like wrestling with the fact that it's real funny and it's real good.
Yeah.
Like, like, it's like, and like, also there's a third layer, like, it's real funny, it's real good, and it completely captures the genre. Like, I'm not going to disparage. I'm not disparaging you by saying this, Jay, because I'm going to put me in this also. We both have done contemporary Christian, and like Alex blew us away.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
agree.
shucks.
Yeah, it's real good.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I also played on the fact that they're kneeling when they go back in time.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, that's really clever going with John Connor and the initials JC.
I know.
Whenever you were assigned this, I was like, I bet he's going to come back with the Terminator being kind of like the Jesus figure or whatever, because he's like invincible or whatever. Yeah, but this is so much better.
You're up, Jay.
I'm up. Okay. So my assignment was pop country. I originally was trying to make a pop country song in the style of like what's popular in that genre today. I didn't quite get it. It ended up sounding more like 80s pop country, which I'm cool with, kind of like that Randy Travis, George Strait,
Yeah.
that sort of era. This is a different Terminator timeline, and in this one, country music star Tobey Maguire
Yeah.
is
Woo!
he is playing the Terminator, who is once again Carl and has the business Carl's Draperies. It's pretty much the same movie as Dark Fate. It's just country music star Tobey Maguire. All right, here we go. This is called Carl's Draperies. I was watching the football game when they came to my door. Two women I did not know, one I met before. I gave them some beers, Sarah gave me some shots. Talked about my new life, I'm a daddy robot. I really want to tell them all about my career. I hang drapes on windows like a real boy does. Great skill to have, I say that because I do it real good just like any human man. Got my secret stash of guns in case the world burns down. Society collapses and we'll lose our damn town. Rebuild it all with colors that we please. Just call Carl's Draperies. Well, I dropped what I was doing, said goodbye to my wife and kid. Said freedom ain't free and it needs defending again. There's a robot wreaking havoc and it came from Mexico. Jumped over the wall, but I bet he doesn't know how to hang drapes on a window like a real boy does. Great skill to have, I say that because I do it real good just like any human man. Got my secret stash of guns in case the world burns down. Society collapses and we'll lose our damn town. Rebuild it all with colors that will please. Just call Carl's Draperies.
There's a lot of play on words there.
Yeah.
I like the human. That's real good.
And the women.
Women and the white. So Jay and I live in the same house. And boy, he was having trouble listening to pop country.
Oh.
He would like do some research and he was just like would just bitch and complain after each time. He's like, God, it's so terrible. They're so awful.
It's almost worse than a lot of contemporary Christian, because at least contemporary Christian, like musically, a lot of, not some of them are bad, but a lot of them are just like, well, it's kind of like listenable from a production standpoint. But
I agree.
But the country pop just adds that extra element of like deliberately low IQ.
Yeah.
Like
misogyny, sexism, and racism, you mean?
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah.
I love my truck.
Yeah, you're it's very true. And I feel like that is the appeal of pop country, is that it's like, I'm not thinking about anything and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just going to talk about waking up in the morning and driving my truck.
There are so many songs that are in the top 10 right now that are like 2-chord songs, 3-chord songs, which is fine in itself, but they really try. I think you're right on that, Alex. Like the lyrics, they really try. Like, let's make this the absolute most mundane shit that we can possibly sing about.
It's like not genuine. At least like with the contemporary Christian, like a lot of those, I think they're very, the message is very clear, but it's like their genuine feelings probably.
I agree.
A lot of them. But with the country, it's just like, quit being such a stupid billboard.
Well, and the thing is, it's like, you know, none of these people live on farms, probably.
Right.
You know, and they're not driving down country roads. Like, if anything, they're in Nashville, and like Nashville's a city like any other American city. Like, you know, they're eating burgers from Red Robin and like you know, watching Netflix like the rest of us. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're in Nashville, Atlanta, and LA. Like they're not.
Yeah.
They're not growing beans on a 10-acre farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made it even worse is the way I decided to go about it for the research was I wasn't just listening to the songs. I was watching the music videos too.
Oh God.
And it is untenable. Like no joke, there are music videos of them like walking around with their like tight belts and stuff. They got their tight jeans, and they're literally spitting on the ground in their music videos. Like, why are you spitting in your music video?
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah. Here's one of the things why I think emotionally it gets me riled up, because I really care about music. It's so powerful and helps us humans communicate things that are hard to just say. And the person who wrote Somewhere Over the Rainbow has this quote that says,
Judy Garland.
not Judy Garland, it's Yip Harburg.
Yep.
Said, words make you think thoughts. Music makes you feel a feeling, but a song makes you feel a thought. And I think what makes me kind of angry about so much pop country out there, and sometimes some of the other genres get into this as well, is they're not really, it's almost the antithesis to that. Like, they're using this formula of music and lyrics, but
to make money.
Yeah, and the goal of the song isn't, they're like, I'm trying to make you not think thoughts and not feel a feeling. And a song makes you feel a thought. And that's what I really like about music is, even a really good instrumental can make you feel a certain emotion in there. And if you combine that with some certain keywords, it's like, it has a really big impact on you. And it's such a shame that so much music out there is like trying to make that goal not happen.
Mm-hmm.
I like the late great Tom Petty quote where he said modern country bands are like bad rock bands with fiddles.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
Well, it's almost like you can definitely pinpoint the end game of someone writing a song for like these outcomes versus like, Kurt Cobain or, like someone who's like definitely not in it for that end goal. They're, they're like emoting, what they're going through, or, a comment on the world. Like, Trent Reznor, like, he doesn't care what anyone thinks.
Yeah.
He's just going to make a comment and commentary through music. So, yeah, well, I agree, Jay. Everyone's songs are real good.
Thank you. So also I have one other song, but I'm going to put it at the end of the song, or at the end of the episode. It'll be the closing song for today's episode. It's instrumental, and it was just music it was music that I made inspired by the Terminator series. Being instrumental, it's not really about any particular movie or anything, and it doesn't even take from the themes of it. It was just like me thinking about like what it means to be human, and that's the name of the song, and kind of this good and evil. And I wanted to make some music that was like, kind of felt like it was in the space in between. And there's parts of the song that sound like robots. There's parts of the song that sound much more human, and some parts of it that are in between. You can't tell, is that a real instrument or not? Or at least that was what I was going for. So
cool.
Yeah, that'll be at the end. Anyway,
what are we talking about next?
Oh, shit.
Next will be the new Choosing the Movies episode.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm. So I think let's all go into it old school style with our list of 5 movies.
Okay.
All right, then.
Thanks, everyone, for listening and sharing our podcast. We really appreciate it. And make sure to follow us on Twitter at BetterLegsCast and on our website at BetterLegsPodcast.com.
Love you.
Meeting adjourned.
Ooh.